Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rebel Rewind. My name's Christopher. That's Eric over there. How are you doing today, Eric?
Doing excellent, Chris. How you doing? How's your day?
Doing good. It was a good day at work. Pretty warm.
Awesome. Yeah,
You
pretty
and I
warm
are
over
kind
here
of in,
too.
in similar professions, so I was covering a run at the mall today, so I was inside for the most part, but
Okay,
a lot of
nice.
lot of walking. Got my steps in today, so that was good.
That's awesome. No, yeah, it's been very warm here. It was like in the 90s, almost in the hundreds. I know you
Wow, that's
guys
crazy.
temperatures deal how you guys Fahrenheit and Celsius, but yeah, it's about 100 degrees, almost 100.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I think that's about like 30, high 30s, I think.
yeah,
90.
and then we got the
I'm just
humidity
taking a look.
factor.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we're out here in the
yeah.
Gulf. Yeah, so it's pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah, it's about yeah, not 90 degrees Fahrenheit is about 32 degrees Celsius, so crazy. You said you were close to 100, so that would be like almost
Yeah,
40 degrees
like
Celsius out
yeah,
here,
about
so
95.
yeah, that's crazy. That's hot.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
humidity. Oh man, that's it's the worst here.
right? I know. We up here we got to deal with the wind chill in the winter too, so we get the humidity in the in the summer, and then the wind chill in the winter. So
Yeah, no, we don't get much winter here, but
yeah, you guys
well,
are
we did
lucky
get a
down there.
freeze about a couple of years ago. That was pretty bad, but
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that on TV
yeah,
where like yeah, all the nobody could, or there were a bunch of accidents on like a
yeah,
major highway down there, wasn't there, because of the
yeah.
ice and stuff.
45, I believe it was 45. See, 45 stretches from the north side of Houston, which is, of course, is going to be the colder part of Houston, all the way down south. So yeah, right around
That's crazy.
midway and up was 45 up to Dallas was just crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy. I got Patrick in the chat. Let's freaking go.
So Patrick,
That's right. Let's freaking go there, Patrick. Do you see Deadpool and
no,
Wolverine
no,
yet?
I haven't
No.
watched it yet. No, no.
Oh, okay.
I know that's where the I saw the trailer for it though.
The LFG. Yeah, yeah. My wife and I saw it on Friday on opening night, and then we're going again tonight to see it again. So
Nice.
Patrick said Amy used to live in Houston.
She
We got
could tell you.
Tony in
She
the
could tell
chat.
you about that.
Hello there,
What's up, Tony?
General Tony. Yeah, it's a good movie. We're gonna go see it today again, like I said. So that'll be fun.
So
Um, yeah,
I was gonna ask
but we got
Amy, what side of town did Amy live in? I
yeah.
know Houston's huge.
Yeah, is Houston's the capital of Texas, is it?
No, Austin
Or
is.
is it it's Austin. Okay.
Austin, yeah.
I'm not super familiar with my US geography there, like which states and
Uh,
which cities are the capitals. So Patrick said hello, Tony. Tony saying, "What's up, Patrick?" Yeah, so yeah, we got some stuff to talk about tonight, some more news and rumors like we do every week. Let's jump into our first article here, which has to do with Leslie Headland regretting not expanding on Vanessa Rowe's story. One says Austin 316, a little wrestling reference there. Patrick says Cyprus in
oh,
Austin.
Cypress. Okay, that's the um northwest side of Houston. It's like on the outskirts of Houston.
There you go, like a suburb.
Yeah, Cypress Fairbanks, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go. So
that's
Patrick
cool.
snatched
That's
him up
cool.
a Texas lady. Yeah, so Leslie Headland has been doing a lot of interviews lately after the Acolyte finished up there, and she's said in a interview that she regrets, like her biggest regret, one of her biggest regrets is is that she couldn't do more with Venestra Rowe. So Venestra Rowe is one of the few characters with a sizable backstory going into the show, and some fans were disappointed at how little we got to see of this fan favorite character, particularly when it came to understanding her change in persona from the books. And in this interview with Entertainment Weekly, Headland admitted that her biggest regret from the Acolytes first season was not being able to do more with Venestra Rowe. So Leslie said, that was something I kept trying to slip in, but there was so much. It's a really packed season, and I love that. My goal is to explore as many nooks and crannies as I can in the time I am given, and Star Wars is the perfect place to do that because there's nothing but good nooks and crannies. All of this world that's available to you that you can dig into. So, of course, there were things that I didn't get to explore. She goes on to say later on in the interview, one thing that a potential second season of The Acolyte could do, which hasn't been officially renewed yet. Headland says that a potential second season could do is explore the relationship between Venestra Rowe and the stranger, who were heavily implied to have once been Jedi Master and apprentice. So we got that in the season finale, the confirmation of that, right? That that Venestra knows the stranger, that she knows Chimere. So Leslie said, I can't confirm or deny that is something we are thinking about, but I think if we're allowed to continue telling this story, you'll see more of Vern's story, Vern's history with the stranger and how that's affecting the decisions she's making now. And I feel like we've kind of got a little bit of a glimpse of that because she's kind of hiding stuff to protect herself there as well, like hiding her history with Chimere, the stranger there. It seemed like when she lied to the Senate as well, like she doesn't want to throw herself under the bus, right? But Leslie said, we wanted to answer a lot of questions. We wanted to show Chimere's master. We weren't going to wait for a second season for that. We wanted to wrap up the twin storyline. We were not going to leave everybody hanging. They still sat through all of this, and we want to reward people for watching. The dangling of other stuff, especially the legacy stuff, like what's Manny's name, Yoda, Plagueis, and what the background is with Venestra and her relationship with the Senate, and how she's going to unfold this sort of internal review of the Jedi. Where does that lead? So it was a lot of how is this going to fit in to what we see later, and that was the step I wanted to save for the tease, as well as Osha and the stranger's relationship. I felt like that was a really good thing to tease as well. Mostly, I need a full season for that. So it could be interesting to see a second season of the Acolyte where we explore that more. What do you think about that? Like, what do you think about getting a second season and exploring that relationship between Venestra Rowe and Chimere, and maybe seeing some flashbacks of what happened there, how we got those scars and stuff? Because I know that was a big thing in the first season when we saw the scars on his back, right? Everyone, no, that's Venestra's light whip who did that. So I'm kind of curious myself, like what did she do? Why did she do that? Right?
Yeah, there's got to be a reason why he's got those lashings on his back. What line did he cross? But yeah, definitely one. That's something worth exploring. I think that's would be a good story to continue on and find out a little bit more about that story. Yeah, but they had a lot going on in this show. It's kind of impossible to get all these story kind of like and get it all done in one season. But I think this was definitely worth exploring. Fun fact, I didn't know this, but Leslie Headland and Rebecca Henderson are actually a couple, or a married couple. So another reason why you think she would want to add more, or kind of felt like, well, she should have add that character a little bit more onto the show. I didn't know that until Jason at toying around toys mentioned that in the comment that I didn't know that personally of their relationship, but that's interesting. But I definitely would love to see a little bit more with Kymir's backstory, Vanessa Rowe as her master, and what went wrong. And
yeah, because clearly something went wrong, right? So
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. One says, thanks for the info last episode about the 3 3/4 figs, but you talked so fast when you answered. I missed where and when is a good time and place to get a swath of figs, ships, and figures for a Christmas surprise. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry if I talked too quick there. There's a good one, because I'm assuming you're in Edmonton with the all the Oilers references. Check out Keko Collectibles, KECO Collectibles. It's over on the east end of the city on 118th Ave. They got a great selection of older toys. Facebook Marketplace, you can always look for stuff there. And then the Edmonton Collector Con is a good one to go to in it should be coming up in October, end of October or November. You can check that out when it's in when that's on there. They usually have it at the Italian Cultural Center. So those are all great places to find some older figures and pretty reasonable prices too sometimes. So are you familiar with the store inside store Warp 2? Will you have a booth at the next show? And Power of the Force or Power of the Jedi series is more economical to buy, new in packaging. Looking to blow some little kids' mind this Christmas. Probably the Power of the Force, I would think, because they're older. You might be able to find them cheaper. I would say. I don't know. What do you think about that one, Eric?
I think that'll probably be less expensive. Power of the Force, so older figures.
For carded figures, I would imagine the Power of the Force ones would be.
Sometimes you can find some the vintage collections at a very good price, like some of the newer ones that haven't been selling very, very good.
So, you can find them at the Dollarama up here, actually, in Canada. I found a whole bunch of them over the last few months. So
they're cool figures with accessories and stuff like that. So worth looking at.
Yeah. You're welcome.
No problem. All right, let's get into my first story. Star Wars Andor star Diego Luna describes how they're fitting 4 seasons of planned story into the second and final season. Here we go. So Andor season 2 has wrapped filming and is expected to drop in Disney Plus sometime in the late 2024 or early 2025. The second season of the critically acclaimed Star Wars series will wrap up Cassian Andor's story, leading straight into Rogue One. According to Cassian Andor actor Diego Luna, third season was initially considered along with a fourth and fifth. Why didn't they do it? It turned out filming a Star Wars television series takes a long time. Diego Luna explained it all during a spotlight panel at A Superhero Comic Con 2024. Says, at the very beginning, before we even started, we thought about how we're going to manage multiple seasons, said Diego. And then the first season took 2.5 years of our lives. So we said, there's no way we can do this for 5 seasons. It said, I'll be with a cane pretending to be on my way to Rogue One, Luna continues. Tony comes up with a great idea of doing 4 blocks, and each block is a year before Rogue One. It's the last 4 years, basically. So there's a time jump every 3 episodes of a year, says Luna. So it's fascinating. So every 3 episodes is going to be a time jump, if I'm understanding this correctly. So he says it's fascinating for you because there's a whole chunk you're going to have to come up with. I think he's talking about the director. There's a big chunk you're going to have to come up with because there's always this kind of time jump. It's a great tool and narratively, it's very interesting to watch. I love time jumps into stories because all of a sudden you get new characters along between these time jumps because you meet organically you meet new people. So maybe we'll get some of the characters that was part of the Rogue One
Yeah.
mission.
Yeah,
So,
Orson Krennic. We already saw Saw
yeah,
Gerrera,
Saw
so
Gerrera.
we'll probably get him more. But yeah,
Um,
maybe we'll see other characters getting closer. K2SO is a big one that we should see at some point in the second season. So
I like to see Two Tubes, some of the
yeah,
some of the other Marauders, those characters and background characters. It'd be awesome to see
yeah,
those back again.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm super psyched for this. I can't wait for this.
yeah. I'm excited for it. Andor season 1, I loved. Like that's my
Hmm.
second favorite Disney Plus series next to The Mandalorian. Even with The Mandalorian's third season, that wasn't as good as the first two. Yeah, and Andor's up there with that. So really excited about it, and the time jumps could be cool. Like you said,
Yep.
like it kind of moves the story along a little bit quicker.
Hmm.
And to be honest, like The Mandalorian could do with a little bit of a time jump too, because how long can they just keep Grogu as this young 50-year-old infant that doesn't talk, right? Like at some point you gotta do a little bit of a time jump where he's a little bit older, maybe he's talking. So
I wouldn't
I'm
be
kind of
surprised
hoping
if
we
he
see a
starts
bit of a
talking.
yeah. I would think we're gonna get some sort of time jump in the Mandalorian movie, or maybe that time jump has already taken place when we see the Mando and Grogu movie.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm good with the time jump in Andor. It makes sense, right?
I'm
There's a
not
lot of
sure how
ground to cover.
not sure how I'm gonna be able to cope with the idea of Grogu actually speaking words.
Yeah,
Would it
right.
be like Yoda? I doubt it, but because he had his master, he was trying to I guess
Yeah, I mean he's been
yeah,
around a lot longer. We saw Yaddle in Tales of the Jedi, and she talked
yeah, she spoke just
normal.
fine.
So I would imagine Grogu would talk pretty normal as
Yeah,
well.
but it's gonna be kind of hard to grasp the idea of him actually speaking words.
Yeah. One is asking what did you find at Dollarama? Let's see, maybe I can supplement his slash her gifts. So I found vintage collection figures and what are the retro series ones? I don't have them near me right now, but like that
You got a
sometimes you can
video he
find
can
them.
check out?
Yeah, there's a video. I'll throw it in the comments. Let me bring up that video. I'll throw it in the comments if I can grab that.
I think it's like
Um,
it's like our Five Below, I believe.
yeah, it's
You
very
guys,
similar. Yeah, because I got them for like $5 each, so it's pretty much like a Five Below down there, which is cool. But they don't always have the Star Wars figures. You kind of have to keep an eye on. I follow a couple of groups on Facebook that I keep an eye on, and sometimes they'll post stuff in there. But I have found some Star Wars items there
yeah, I'm
pretty
way more.
regularly as well.
I find more stuff at Ross than I do at the Five Below. But then you know you do find some stuff, but not as
Yeah,
frequent. Hmm.
yeah. Let me just bring up one of my hunts. I'll put it in the chat for you to check out.
So I'm glad that they're finished
Brilliant job.
filming.
Yeah, right. No, I know. So it should come out later this year or early next year, which kind of leads into the next story here because well, one of the next stories later on because that has to do with what should be the next series, what was rumored to be the next series, but apparently there's trouble with that. We'll talk about that one later. But my next article on the Bespin Bulletin, Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu set photos confirm a return to Navarro, which is exciting because we've been to Navarro every single season of The Mandalorian. So 2 weeks ago, Making Star Wars shared images of a set being built in El Segundo, I guess is how you pronounce it,
Segundo,
and Segundo,
Segundo.
Segundo.
Yeah,
There we go. uh,
I think
and
it's Spanish for the second. I don't know what that's got to do with.
yeah,
But yeah.
do we know where that is? Is that? I'm assuming that's in the States. Yeah, El
It's in
Segundo.
California. I believe that's in
Is it?
California.
Okay, that would make sense. So sets were being built there, and it's believed that it could possibly be Navarro. Today, the Star Wars Insider has returned to the location, snapped more images, and confirmed a return to Navarro for Din Djarin and Din Grogu. So taking to the threads, MSW wrote, Making Star Wars wrote, I can confirm the planet Navarro will return in The Mandalorian and Grogu. As you can see in the photos I took, the panel's ballasts, the planet's ballast, planet's bassets is being constructed around architecture, and there are piles to cover the ground. Note that the turret structure has been wrapped in black, covering it to keep it clean. But the basalt surrounds it. So if you take a look at the images here, so yeah, there's that set pieces covered in dirt to protect it from getting dirty from all the basalt. Yeah, these are pretty grainy photos, but looking from the dark soil, it does kind of have, and the trees, it does have like that Navarro vibe. It's certainly not a surprise that the Mandalorian and Grogu is returning to Navarro, as I mentioned, because it's shown up in all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. And given the tragic passing of Greef Karga actor Carl Weathers earlier this year, it'll be interesting to see how they handle Weathers' passing in the show. Navarro and Karga are strongly linked, as Karga became the High Magistrate of the planet in the last season of the Mandalorian. So we'll have to see if he's mentioned or his death is mentioned in some way.
Yeah.
But interesting to see some of these leaked set photos, even though they're grainy as hell. You kind of like
Can you see Kawaki monkeys
style of
on
the
the tree?
trees. No, but I mean, like the style of the trees and the dirt and the what do they call it? The basalts.
Mhm.
Has that same look as like
Yeah.
Navarro, right? The same trees here, the same kind of dirt. So it's cool to see these leaked images. I always liked seeing leaked images when they were making the movies, when they were making the sequels, when they were making the prequels. When they leaked images, it was neat to
Yeah.
see that kind of stuff. So I always enjoy seeing this stuff. But what are your thoughts on
No.
going back to
Yeah.
Navarro?
Yeah. No. That's one of my favorite planets. And Tatooine, I love going back to Tatooine also. Yeah. But yeah, Navarro is just awesome. I like to see like his. I don't know. We saw his place, but what else is around his location, his actual house. So but kind of cool if we get to explore some of that on the next season.
It's neat because every season, like it went from this dump of a planet where like nothing was growing, and then like Greef Karga, cleaned it up a little bit, like bit by bit, and then the 3rd season, like it was all nice and clean, and they had the school running, and they had their own marshal again running the town, so or
Yeah, you get to
protecting the
see all these
town. So
transformations in the city.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
it's
cool.
very cool to see.
No, I love seeing set images.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super psyched. But all right, on to my next story here. So the next Star Wars show, Skeleton Crew, is a Star Wars show for non-Star Wars fans, although you can enjoy it too, says John Watts. So John Watts wants Star Wars Skeleton Crew to appeal to all viewers, whether they're familiar with the franchise or not. Speaking to a crowd at CCXP Mexico City 2024, Watts revealed some details about the storyline. It's about a group of kids that find a buried spaceship on their boring planet. They accidentally turn it on, get blasted off into the galaxy, and it's the story about them trying to find their way back home. Since the storyline is being told from the kids' perspective, you can watch the Skeleton Crew without having ever seen any other Star Wars movies or television shows. You don't need to know, don't need to have any prior Star Wars knowledge to enjoy it, but if you do, you can enjoy it in many levels. According to Lucasfilm, Jude Law will be a Force user, and the series will take place sometime after the Return of the Jedi. Other than that, Watt wasn't sure what else he can share without getting in trouble. So the Star Wars Skeleton Crew is announced to debut on Disney Plus in late 2024. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
We get a little plot of the show, and
Yeah, I didn't realize Jude Law was playing a force. What did they say? A force
force
sensitive
sensitive.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
yeah. So I mean that maybe one in hiding because he doesn't want to get
Yeah,
seeped out, you know. And
yeah,
but yeah, I like to. I mean the storyline. This sounds kind of interesting, kind of basic, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
kind of like was this the show that, or actually the movie that was kind of um, feeding off the Goonies, right?
The Goonies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
So the
I
way
think
he
that's
kind of
interesting because it kind of sounds like it could, because it takes place in the Mandoverse, the same time as like Mandalorian, Ahsoka, stuff like that, Book of Boba Fett.
mhm.
Um, it kind of like the it being like a group of kids that find a buried spaceship on their boring planet and accidentally turn it on and get blasted into the galaxy. Where do they get blasted to? Do they get blasted into that other galaxy, or maybe they're already in that other galaxy where Peridia is? So
Oh,
maybe it ties into Ahsoka, and that's how
oh, that's
Ahsoka
interesting.
and Sabine get home, right?
That's interesting, man. I wish like they say they don't tell you much, and he says I'm not sure
No,
how much I can give without getting in trouble, but that'd be kind of cool if that'd be their way
yeah,
back to the regular galaxy from Peridia.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's
yeah. And
the
until we know
ideas
for
are
sure,
limitless.
we gotta, yeah. And until we know for sure, we have to kind of come up with our own theories and
Right?
ideas of
I like
what's
that
going to
idea.
happen, right? So, yeah, it could, right? Maybe they're already in that other galaxy, and that's maybe they get blasted onto that planet there, and they meet up with Ahsoka and Sabine, and at some point they find their way back home before the big Mandoverse Infinity War movie where they
Right?
all fight Thrawn, right? So
They were
I
already
guess we'll have
working
to
on that
see.
one. So yeah,
Yeah, so should be interesting.
I
Hopefully that
like that
comes out
theory.
soon. Yeah. So on to my next little article. I thought this one was a pretty good read here. So again, the Bespin Bulletin posted this
They got
just
some good
last
stories
week
there.
there. So yeah, so Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu filmed time-sensitive scenes, principal photography to begin within 3 weeks. So the main chunk of photography will start in 3 weeks, but they filmed some time-sensitive scenes. So The Mandalorian and Grogu was initially widely reported to begin filming mid-June. Reports from Collider um, and even Din Djarin actor Brandon Wayne all pointed to a June start for Lucasfilm's first Star Wars film since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. June has come and gone with no updates on the start of filming. Over a week ago, they reported that principal photography on the Jon Favreau flick uh, had yet to begin despite initial plans for an official June start. The delay in filming is absolutely nothing to worry about. The Mandalorian and Grogu isn't set to hit theaters for another 22 months, so they still got plenty of time, over a year, like over a year and a half, actually.
Yeah, but
Um,
don't please don't
yeah,
wait till don't try to do this at the
yeah,
last
no,
minute.
no. But Lucasfilm have plenty of time to make sure the script is standard, and principal photography would run around 3 to 4 months, giving the production giving the production plenty of time in post production. But a reliable Star Wars insider making Star Wars has offered an update on the situation on the upcoming flick via the social network Threads. Making Star Wars, who recently shared images of sets being built for The Mandalorian and Grogu, revealed principal photography has yet to begin, though Lucasfilm did film scenes with a limited cast, likely due to
Hmm.
uh, time sensitivity around certain cast members. Making Star Wars added that principal photography wasn't considered to be the more the principal photography, what's considered to be the more official start of filming, with which will occur in El Segundo in around 3 weeks' time. So you can check out his whole post as well. But after confirming these set builds, he said that he can confirm that a few scenes have already been filmed, again with limited cast for undisclosed reasons, probably due to cast time sensitivities, like we said. What we usually call the start of principal photography for Star Wars: The Mandalorian will begin at the train yard in El Segundo in about 3 weeks. So Pedro Pascal, the internet's daddy and leading man of The Mandalorian, is a busy fellow, to say the least. So Pascal started his year off by shooting scenes for The Last of Us Season 2 in Canada in February, later arriving in New Mexico to shoot for Ari Astra's Eddington, then heading to New York to film Celine Song's The Materialists, possibly taking part in Gladiator 2 reshoots. And then, of course, he's going to be in the Fantastic Four, which will film for the rest of 2024. So the time-sensitive shoots that may have happened could possibly have been Pedro Pascal shooting his stuff, apparently. Or that's what is being implied, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, that's cool that they could that they may have already filmed scenes with Pedro Pascal, because clearly he's busy filming all that other stuff, right? So
Yeah.
Get the stuff with him in the armor shot, and then he can do all his voiceover stuff later, which is what I would imagine they're doing. But what do you think?
Isn't his was it body double Brandon Wayne?
Yeah, because Brandon Wayne will be in this suit the most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, so the only thing that could be this time sensitive shoots before principal photography starts. Like I said, Pedro Pascal having some time to actually come in and shoot his scenes where he's maybe has the helmet off again, right? Where you see his face, where like everything else he can just do the voiceover work later on, right? And they can add it in later. So what are your thoughts?
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's
Kay said, yeah, so no helmet scene. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, a no helmet scene, right? So that's the only reason you would need Pedro there in person.
Yep. Well, definitely. Yeah. Or it could be like maybe even something insignificant, like him just going to the room or somewhere just to eat out of public eye or something like that.
Yeah,
in case he's with the group or whatever. But it could be something significant or something not that significant. But it's interesting that they do have that. They did shoot his stuff.
Yeah.
Or it appears to be his stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's the only thing I can think of as well.
Yeah, because this guy's busy. That's got so much going on with Fantastic Four and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
He's got a long line of work he's got.
Yeah. No. And like I said, he can do the voiceover stuff from wherever, right? He can record it and send it in, and they can place it over whoever does the dialogue while they're filming, right? And just replace it. So
yeah, no doubt.
Could be cool. Yeah. How do people know anything about Skeleton Crew when no one else does? Right? I know we haven't heard anything. Back 8 Ramas in 1 Day is Wild, but I did the same thing hunting for Masters of the Universe Origins, with my nephew. I do the West End and I do the West End. What's your hunting neck of the woods? What was the mission fleet you kept finding? The 3.75. The mission fleet one was like, it was just the Stormtrooper and the Boba Fett, I think, and I think I saw the Dark Trooper.
Those are 2.5 inch.
Yeah, the mission fleet ones are those are really tiny. They're probably smaller. About I think you're right, about 2 inch, 2.5 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so no helmet scene. Yeah, so exciting stuff though. That means, right? If that would be the only reason for Pedro to record stuff, if it's
I,
where you see his face, right? So
yeah, I don't see any other reason why any other actor would, unless
yeah,
why get record earlier than, but
yeah,
this makes sense. But Pedro Pascal's busy schedule.
yeah,
All right, so on to we're going into comic books. My last two stories. So this one is the Acolyte's Wookiee Jedi gets even more lightsaber action in the first look at Kelnaka series, and we have the link down below. So if you guys want to look at the previews of this comic book, you guys can take a look at that. So there's a little previews for this. So I'm sure we're going to go through the images, right, Chris?
yeah,
Okay. All right. So Star Wars fans who hope that the Acolyte would include more Wookiee lightsaber action will get what they wish for this fall as the Jedi Kelnaka stars in his own comic book. The Kelnaka one shot will also include an interview with Junas Sotamo, the actor who portrayed Kelnaka in The Acolyte.
yeah,
Not much has been revealed about the plot of the Kelnaka one shot, but the previews open with the Wookiee Jedi in the middle of a fierce battle with a Padawan on his side, and then Kelnaka appears to be fighting a Nihil. The Nihil, sorry, the Nihil are the most prominent villains in the High Republic era. I don't know much at all about the High Republic
yeah.
era.
I'm on the same page. I don't know, but
I need to.
I have heard of the Nihil as well, and I guess they're a big antagonist in the High Republic era. But the art looks cool.
Yeah, the art. Oh, I love the artwork. This should be a good read, but you can follow the link to read the previews of this comic book. So the images look stunning. I love the artwork. I love artwork,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's good to get a little bit of backstory of Kelnaka. Look at
Yeah,
that image right there, the cover. Fantastic job,
right.
artwork on this. I
And
may have to. I may have to
I'm
pick
all
up some
for
comic
getting
books.
the yeah, I'm all for getting backstory of other characters too. Like if they wanted to do a Soul comic book, like that's the thing. You don't need
Right?
all this backstory in TV shows and movies. You can do comics like that and get backstory that way. Like they've always
Mm-hmm.
done it that way, right? With
Yeah.
all this other stuff. So
Oh,
that's
be
very
awesome
cool.
if we get a limited uh, um
Kanaka series or
Soul.
something.
No, Soul
Oh, a Soul one?
series.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
Soul series would be cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
That'd be pretty
yeah.
awesome.
So you have a
Um,
lot of comic books, Christopher, or
I
you got a few?
I have some, but like I haven't read them all. I just like again like
Collect them
at
there.
Dollarama up here, probably about like 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, they had like the thick Marvel. I guess they're graphic novels. Like
Yeah.
it has a bunch of comics in one book, so they were selling them for like $3 each.
Wow.
So like yeah, I picked a few of them up, but I still haven't read them. They're just sitting
I
on my
was,
shelf.
and I'm kicking myself why I didn't get the Vader book.
Yeah.
That was at Five Below, and I didn't get it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like the Vader comic or like
It's a comic book,
like the
but
graphic novel.
it's a graphic
Yeah.
novel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. It was I was flipping through it, but I didn't end up getting it. I should have gotten it.
Right.
It was those things that you just kind of kick yourself like, why didn't I just get that? I was like
Yeah.
so wanting to get it, but I don't know. Maybe I was in a rush or something. I'm always in a rush when I'm at work. So sometimes I take
sure.
off and do like toy hunts around the medical center. So
Yeah.
I get
I mean, if you got time,
I'll
right?
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So jumping into the next article, like this one, like I said, kind of has to do with the what we were mentioning before about Andor possibly coming out at the end of 2024, because the next live action show, the next Disney Plus show, Star Wars Disney Plus show, is supposed to be, well, it's rumored to be Skeleton Crew in the fall or late this year. So I guess we'll have to see. But an article on Fandom Wire, which says they enjoyed the Acolyte. This isn't being well received. Star Wars fans blame identity politics as Jude Law's skeleton crew reportedly faces uphill battle at Lucasfilm. So that doesn't sound too good. If Lucasfilm themselves aren't really liking what they're seeing of the skeleton crew yet, I don't know if that means like some reshoots in the future or what, right? But the Star Wars franchise has recently seen a downturn in its fortunes, primarily after the release of The Acolyte, which received mixed reactions from critics and fans alike. As a result, the negative reception has seemingly impacted one of the franchise's upcoming entries in the form of the Skeleton Crew. So, starring Jude Law, Skeleton Crew is an upcoming series set in the Star Wars universe and co-created by John Watts. According to reports, the series isn't testing well at Lucasfilm, raising questions over its future. As a result, fans feel the franchise's identity politics might be the reason behind the show's struggles. Jude Law's Star Wars Skeleton Crew reportedly not testing well at Lucasfilm. So, Skeleton Crew was first announced 2022 with John Watts and Christopher Ford as the creators. The series is set after the events of Return of the Jedi and follows the four children, which we talked about in Eric's previous article there. But despite being announced 2 years ago, the series has yet to receive a release date or reveal of any major promotional material. There's been no trailer. According to Bespin Bulletin, these delays might stem from the series testing poorly at Lucasfilm. So, like Eric said, all these links will be in the description below, so you can check out the full articles. But this is a Bespin Bulletin Twitter post or X post or whatever you call it. Skeleton Crew, according to at the Rocha, says isn't being received very well at Lucasfilm. This echoes similar statements made by both myself and Making Star Wars. We've been hearing similar things for a long time, certainly since last year. Just keep expectations in check. So, as the tweet indicates, Skeleton Crew isn't receiving positive reactions at Lucasfilm. The alleged poor internal reactions could explain why the show hasn't been in production for so long, or could explain why the show has been in production for so long. While the series is reportedly slated to release in 2024, there has been a clear lack of marketing for the upcoming addition to the Star Wars universe. In contrast, The Acolyte revealed its first footage almost a year before the release. Hence, the lack of a marketing push is concerning for the Skeleton Crew's future. So maybe it's going to get canceled. Who knows? But what are your thoughts? Like, what do you think?
Oh wow,
It's kind of not sounding too good.
well, yeah, but I'm trying to figure this all out. I mean, I'm not good with a lot of these phrases of what is this identity politics. That doesn't make it doesn't ring. I mean, what I have no earthly idea, but interesting. All of this, it's just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's a kids show. Just make it a fun show. Don't put your politics in it. Is this what you're talking about? Identity politics? Just keep it for kids and don't keep your politics out of it. Just make it a fun show. And you have a force sensitive Jude Law's character, and you have kids. Just center about that. Center your story on that. And I don't understand what's the problem.
I'm not too sure about the identity politics either. But
yeah.
I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on it possibly being canceled? Because like the article says, it's supposed to come out in 2024.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen a trailer. We haven't seen any.
We saw a poster. We saw a poster.
I mean, we saw a poster. Yeah, that probably shouldn't have been out in public, right? So,
right. Somebody needs to snatch it up if they cancel this. It'll be like 1-in-1 poster. No, but it's sad if they let whatever identity politics stop a show like this. Just make it a fun show for kids. And like I said, you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to to get this because the writer, the director, said so, and I just keep it for kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I agree.
KG said might.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said
Right.
uphill battle at Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
So
Patrick was
I'm still trying to
Patrick's
figure this out.
right. Patrick says I was hoping Skeleton Crew would be good. The pitch of Stranger Things
Yeah,
/ Goonies like adventure in Star Wars. Yeah.
that's what I heard. I
Same
was like,
here.
how's that not sound good to Lucasfilm? I mean, this is you guys' baby. Why are they turning their backs on this? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So the identity politics, it says, because like I'm not too sure about that either. It says it's a tendency for people of a particular religion, ethnic group, social background, etc., to form exclusive political alliances, moving away from traditional broad-based party politics.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a saying on the Office says, "Explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old."
Yeah, right.
Says Steve Carell. Yeah, I don't understand the term, but all right. It's sad if they're going to cancel it for this this identity politics. I have no idea.
Yeah,
It's just if you guys are concerned about all that bringing the politics in it, just make a good story for, like you
yeah,
said, non-Star Wars fans and Star Wars fans alike to enjoy it. I don't get it.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
Lucasfilm was trying to interject some more politics like they did on the Acolytes, or maybe that's what, and they're not putting it in. I have no idea. On to my next
yeah.
story.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. If they continue doing this this show, I hope they do. It sounds promising. All right. So this is the last story for today, or at least my last story. The world of the Acolyte expands with 5 brand new comic books or books unveiled at San Diego Comic Con. So we saw a story on the Kel Naka comic book, but it says Kel Naka and Venestra Rowe will get new novels and comics to further their story. First on the list to
nice.
receive their own set of stories in this is the Wookiee Jedi, who many have argued was underutilized in the Acolyte. Also announced at the San Diego Comic Con was the Acolyte's Wayseeker, a series following Venestra Rowe as she learns to navigate her place in the Jedi Order. Venestra spends more than a decade exploring the Outer Rim as a Wayseeker, and doesn't feel compelled to rejoin the Jedi Order until Master Indara comes calling her. Also coming down the pipe for Star Wars Publishing is a untitled YA novel from Arthur Tessa Gratton, which follows Jeki Lon, yes, another Jedi who meets a sad fate in the Acolyte. Coming in February 2025 is the Art of Star Wars: The High Republic Volume 2, featuring exclusive concept art, character and costume sketches, vehicles, and creature designs. Also getting a brand new comic book. Oh, sorry, a brand new art book is Star Wars Outlaws. The book will be released in June of 2025 and comes from Dark Horse Publishing. Lastly,
Nice.
Star Wars
And
is
there's
also,
some images of it too here. Art of the
yeah,
High Republic.
yeah, I dig the artwork and the
Yeah,
Outlaws.
I like that.
Yeah, the digital artwork, it seems like. So lastly, Star Wars also releasing a new art book for the Acolyte Season 1. This book will feature interviews with key creatives involved with creating the series and giving a firsthand account of how the production team brought this new world to life. So yeah, I'm down for.
I'm down for that. Yeah,
I love the art books, especially the big thick art books. I'm more of a
yeah.
visual person. So.
I haven't gotten any of them, like because they've done ones for like each of the films. They've done one for each season of The Mandalorian, I believe, where they're like the art of The Mandalorian, the art of whatever movie. Like I've seen them around. I haven't gotten any yet, but yeah, I'd be I'd definitely be interested in picking these art books up.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe not the comics, but I mean the comics also sound like very cool stories.
Hmm.
I can't find the time to read them with the with work and
Yeah.
doing videos and stuff. So, but
No, no, I hear
yeah,
you, man. I've got a big box of comic books. I have
yeah,
the time to read them.
yeah. K said woke
Woke,
slash anti
anti-woke.
woke.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, K also says, "Ooh, does that possibly mean more Chimera? That'd be cool. I would love to
Yeah.
get more backstory into him, whether it's in books or
Yeah, the
hopefully a second
Vanessa Rowe.
season. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
hopefully a second season of the Acolyte to explore that. That would be cool.
probably I wouldn't mind if they mentioned the Chimera, or whatever his real name is, because I know Chimera is probably just the name that he utilizes to be this bumbling fool. But
Yeah,
yeah, that character, right? Probably see him in the Vanessa Rowe comic book, maybe as a young Padawan or something like that. Who knows?
yeah. Patrick said, "Got to run, fellas." All right, thanks for hopping in the chat, Patrick.
Awesome, Pat.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out, man. So
Yeah,
yeah, this is
could be
a bunch of
interesting.
stuff coming out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for the books. The books could be cool. Like you said, like I too like the artwork stuff. Um, like I said, the comics would be cool. I don't have time to read all of them and stuff, so I kind of just stick to the movies and the shows and stuff. But the art books could be cool.
Yep.
Very
It's good to
cool.
have some like backstories on some of these characters, and
Oh
the only
yeah,
way you get them
absolutely.
is through comic books.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
Hmm.
sure. But I think that just about does it for this week's episode of Rebel Rewind.
This was
Kay
fun.
also says, "Love the Andor shirt, Eric."
Yeah, I got that from Christopher.
Yeah, from the giveaway,
Yep. Yeah. Had to support Andor. We're talking
right?
about Andor season 2, so yeah.
Yeah, Kiko is for sale. Are you feeling entrepreneurial? Not really.
Kiko, what is
I don't
that?
have the fun. It's a collectible store here in
Oh,
Edmonton. Apparently, it's for sale, but I don't have the money to buy a collectible store, and I don't have the know-how either to run it. So, and that Vader shirt is also
yeah.
badass. Yeah, this is the one my wife made actually.
I think you're telling me your wife made this one too. So we got
Yeah,
two
she did. Yeah, yep, she did do that one. So,
two customs from your wife. Shout out
she
to your
said
wife.
nice.
Leave a link to your wife's channel, or I mean, she has
Instagram, yeah,
yeah,
I'll put her Instagram in
talented.
the chat if you want to. And she does decals too, so like card decals as well. So
Cool.
I'll yeah, let me grab the link here and I'll drop it in the chat. Yeah, just check it out on Instagram and give it a look. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's it for
I'm
this
following her.
episode. Yeah, asking only 200,000. Yeah, a little out of my price range. Oh wow, sweet. Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching and chatting with us and giving us
Yep.
your opinion on these articles. Next week we'll have another batch of articles, some more rumors, some more news, and we'd love to hear your thoughts again. So
Hopefully, we'll get a
join us
trailer
next week,
sometime soon.
and hopefully, yeah. But yeah, we'll see everyone next week. Thanks for watching, and may the force be with everyone.